Hello, welcome to Storytime Sunday. So today I was thinking about, we have two dogs, so I was thinking about family pets. And one is 7 years old and she's starting to have some hip problems. And about a year ago, we got a puppy, a lot of energy, and she's constantly harassing the older one. They play pretty well together now. It took some time, but the older one definitely still has a little bit of jealousy, and that made me think about when I was growing up. We always had dogs. We had usually two or three at a time, mostly German Shepherds or mixed breed German Shepherds. And one time after we got a new puppy, we had one dog that had a real issue with jealousy. And my parents, they, I guess my dad, he had chained up our dog on the lawn because we couldn't trust our dog anymore. It was started acting out a little bit, and so we kept some distance from the older dog to the new puppy. And when my dad was coming down from work, he was coming for lunch because he worked just up a hill from where we lived. He was coming down and he always stopped to visit the dog on his way down before he came into the house for lunch. And as he was petting or going to pet this older dog that we had chained up, the dog attacked him on the lawn. And I was in the kitchen and I saw this outside of the kitchen window. And the dog had my dad pinned down and was going at his neck, at his throat. And I remember banging on the window and opening the window and throwing things out of the window to distract the dog. My dad managed to wrestle the dog off of him, and he came inside and he was bleeding and covered in bite marks. And it was terrifying. I was pretty young, maybe 10 at most. And I remember, feeling really worried about my dad and calling for my mom and yelling out the window. When my dad came in and he was bleeding and he had to drive himself to the hospital. But that memory, it always stays with me. So whenever our older dog starts to act up a little, or I can see that there's this jealousy that's going through her about the new puppy, I always think back to that, and I'm very cautious, maybe too cautious, maybe she senses it. But I wonder if you've ever gone through anything like that, if you've ever experienced a dog that turned. I mean, of course, the one from the childhood, we ended up having to put him down. It was really sad. It was hard for our family, but we didn't have a choice. And with the older dog now, if you have any tips whatsoever in and dealing with jealousy between dogs, she's not an aggressive dog, but I don't know, that memory stayed with me, and I always think, well, I just don't want it to go there. Anyhow, I wanted to wish everyone a happy Sunday, and thank you for being part of this community.